Scrappin with Sheri. I wanted to show you a page I did today using the You Quack Me Up paper collection. It is a really cute collection for kids particularly because it's got bubbles, it's got little rubber ducks, but it's also got this really pretty ombre paper that goes from yellow to blue. And that's primarily what I wanted to show you the design with. I think any ombres would work for this particular layout, but this is what I happen to be playing with today. So I've already made a couple of cuts on this, but I want to show you how I started with this. Now I'm using the rubber duck punch to go with the rubber ducks on the paper. And because of the sizing of this punch, this works really well to slide my paper in, and I'm lining up the outside edge of my paper right at the outside edge of the punch. I punch and I slide, and when I slide it, I'm measuring where the edge of the duck's beak is and punching again. Then I slide, line up the little beak right at the edge of my punch, and punch again. And in doing this, it gives me 5 almost perfectly evenly spaced little ducks. Now you can see when I line that one up, there's a little bit of extra right here on the outside edge, not much though, and I'm happy with that. Now, you may wonder if this is going to work with all the punches. I couldn't guarantee it, but I have a slight suspicion that a lot of them will probably work that way. Some of them are smaller side to side, but a lot of them are about that same width. So I've got that part done, and I'm going to use my trimmer, my 12-inch trimmer, and I'm going to slide the paper right to this outside edge just to give me a good line there and cut that off. So basically what I have is a framework for these little ducks. Now I'm using the dark blue bubbles as my background here, and I've already cut this one and laid it out so you can see what kind of look we're going for. And what I did was I went back and I filled in those sweet little ducks, but I did the opposite colors. So like I have the dark blue on this edge, but I carried the dark blue duck down to here. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Got to get the ducks turned the right way. I guess this is what you call putting your ducks in a row, huh? So I'm going to just go back with my colors. Now that one I don't like there because it doesn't really show up. So let's do something like that. And pretty much what I've done is just the opposite of this. I've started with the dark blues on the outside and then worked my way in. Now I want to add one more pattern to this, and then I will tape it down and show you the finished product. Because of the look, and because I'm going to be using pictures of my granddaughter at her bath time, I wanted to go back and add in the little rubber ducky paper. So I have a pretty wide border here, and I don't want this to go all the way to the top and then come through the bottom of my border. So let's see, I'm going to cut that about right there. That's an exact fingernail marking. For me, that mark is going to be about 2 3/4. So I'm cutting off about 2 3/4, which leaves me with about 9 1/4 height. And you can see that's going to be my height because I do want the ducks going the right direction. Now with what I have, I'm going to cut a 6-inch piece. Now remember, this is a full 12 by 12 width. So I'm cutting a 6-inch piece, a 3-inch piece, and then with what I have left over, I'm going to cut at 2 inches, and that'll give me a 2 and a 1. A 2 and a 1. So I have a 6, a 3, a 2, and a 1. And let's lay this out. And here in the middle, I'm going to use the cute little ducks. Aren't they adorable? And I'm going to add the 6 and the 3 there. And then I'm going to flip to the back side of this where there are more little bubbles and do a 2 and a 1 here. Now, that's it for the paper cutting. The next thing I'll do is trim my pictures down and add them to it. But when I add my ducks, let me just add these little ducks in this row and show you real fast. I'm going to use my repositionable tape on the back. So I'm just running my repositionable in these little areas where there's paper. And I'm going to line that up along the bottom edge, just leaving a little of the dark blue border along the bottom. I think that makes our little duck border stand out a little bit better, to leave some of the blue. And I did eyeball that, and it's pretty close. Probably not exact, but pretty close. I haven't unpacked my 13-inch mat yet, or I could use that to help me lay this out exactly even. Now remember, this is the order my ducks are going in. And instead of just putting the ducks right back in there, guess what? We're going to pull foam squares. So I'm just going to add a little foam square right here under his neck, and then one more on his little tail. And that will help him stand up off this page a little bit. And then I'll just put him in the hole. And it just gives us a little 3D effect. And I'm going to go ahead and do that with all these little ducks. Just adding one under his neck and then one on the tail. You could definitely add more. I just don't feel like it's necessary, and I hate to waste unnecessarily. Sometimes it's just necessary to waste, but this time it's not. And I'm using the smallest of the little foam squares. All right. Now I will finish this side in just a minute, but let's go ahead and take down this paper just so you can get a feel for what it's going to look like. And this I'm going to slide right to the top edge of my border and right to the right edge of the paper. I'm not going to leave any extra show in there. And then remember, I flipped this upside down. I'm just going to put that right up against the little ducks. All right. So I will finish this out. I'll be adding some pictures to this, probably matting in a bright blue or a navy, but you'll see the finished product right at the end of this video. I hope you enjoy this really quick layout. Just a few cuts, just a little bit of punching, and you've got a really quick 2-page spread. Until next time, happy scrapping.